I don't want to turn into the guy that is always saying, don't be so mean to Dave Tepper.
Okay.
But I also have to call him as I sees him. And what I mean by that is Dave Canales, the new head coach of the Panthers, revealed that he had meetings with David and Nicole Tepper, the owners of the Panthers.
Yep, he was asked about it. Vashti hurt Carolina Blitz.
And I almost think there was a gut instinct reaction from everyone in Panthers land because
makes sense,
because David Tepper has maybe a reputation, not saying it's not well earned, but a reputation as a meddler, as somebody that might overrule his football people, as somebody that, probably had a negative impact on the previous head coaches that were coaching for the Carolina Panthers.
Had moles in the coaching staff reporting and telling him stuff directly to him. Oh, yeah.
So I understand the immediate blowback, but I also want to give Dave Canales a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, right? The one thing I can say about Dave Canales is he hasn't really lied to us. Outside of maybe saying like our priority is going to be to run the football, then they got down 7-0 and he threw that plan into the trash. But I don't know if that's more of a reaction than like a lie. Mm-hmm. He seems to be pretty upfront. So when he responded about the meeting, he said there's a lot of support from the Teppers to what they have going on. It's more of like a state of the organization, and it means a lot. He wants to make them proud and everything else. If he says it, like, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as he is revealing, like he's not lying to us. There's nothing wrong with the owner of an NFL team wanting to talk with his coach and GM once or twice a week.
It happens, I think, pretty much with every team.
And if it doesn't, that's fine as well. Mm-hmm. I don't want to become the Dave Tepper apologist, but I also want to acknowledge the absolute ludicrous expectation that someone would spend over $2 billion on something and then just go, yeah, I'll check up on you like once every 6 months. Like, he invested an absurd amount of his individual net worth into this team. If he wants to be in the know, 100% gets to be in the know. Mm-hmm. And I actually think as a coach, meetings like that would be good for my job security, because if we're struggling, I want them to know why we're struggling.
Yeah.
I want them to understand what we're doing to fix it and my timeline and how long I think it's going to be. Like, I don't want them to just be watching on Sundays and I get smacked by the Saints and not have any idea what happened and not realize, yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but Derrick Brown's injury, then, I'm making this up now, but in those closed door meetings, yeah, it happened in the first quarter and he wasn't the same player from that point on. It really shook up our those types of things I would want the owner to know, because eventually they're going to have to make the decision on whether to retain me or not, or whether to re-sign me or not. So I understand the gut reaction, but if it's just meetings to chat and catch up and state of the organization, if I were the owner, I would want those meetings. I wouldn't want everybody, yelling at me for just wanting to be in the know on my business.
I think the thing is that we got to go with what we know, mm-hmm. especially recent history. Just a year ago, we had David Tepper suggesting plays mm-hmm. to Frank Reich. He had people in Frank Reich's coaching staff telling, basically snitching, all those kinds of things. He had his moles. That's what people know. So it's who's to say that he isn't trying to do that same stuff again? Because we know the history, yep. and it just happened a year ago. So, I mean, if you're a Panther fan, be like, he's doing it again. It's completely justified feeling. It's a completely justified feeling.
Conversations are fine. Yes. Suggestions are a problem. Mm-hmm. Demands are a massive problem.
Yeah.
Conversations are fine. So, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I would hope Dave Canales. Canales.
Yeah.
I would hope Canales in the interview process made it very clear, I don't take play call suggestions from the owner. I would there's a great, now it's going to annoy the heck out of me. It might be Moneyball. Actually, I think it happened in another movie, but I'll use Moneyball as the example, where the manager in his contract has, I get control of the lineup card. Mm-hmm. And the GM is trying to influence him on to start this guy at first base, put this guy, I want this guy out of the bullpen first. And the manager is saying, you don't have control over the lineup card. It's in my contract. I control the lineup card.
Yep.
To which, of course, in Moneyball, they then go trade the player. So there's only one first baseman on the roster, and it's the one that the GM wants to have start. But if I'm Canales, I want the benefit of the doubt that Canales was smart enough to go into this situation and say, no, the play calls are mine, right? Who is on the field is mine, and Brad Idzik's the offensive coordinator. Until I hear otherwise, and if we learned anything last year, if there's anything behind the scenes going on, the beat reporters will hear about it because we heard seemingly like as things happened every 10 minutes, we were hearing, so-and-so has an assistant GM or whatever. So until I hear something more nefarious, I'm giving Canales the benefit of the doubt that he understands the difference between support from the ownership and conversations where he's just keeping them filled in, and something that'll be a problem down the line.
Yeah, I think the issue is not Canales. It's just what Canales is being told by Tepper in those conversations. That's the worry. That's 100% the worry.
And unless we hear from Canales, we're not going to hear. I doubt Tepper. The thing is, Tepper, when he writes his book 30 years from now, it'll just be every decision he wanted was the right one.
I need a tell-all book from
he wanted Stroud,
Reich.
He wanted Surtain over Horn. He wanted all the deals that look great now. He wanted Purdy in the 7th. Trust me,
Matt Rule one.
He'll just tell you. Yeah, it's true too. He didn't want Matt Rule. We can go on and on. But my point is, the ownership wanting to be around is not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The ownership wanting to make decisions, problem. Until we know he's crossed that line, I'm going to choose to be optimistic. How about that? Optimism on a Friday. Feel good Friday, everybody.